This just blows my mind. This whole area right here was just full of trees like this. They are gone. Just a few little remaining pieces. I mean, it mulched everything up to nothing. So welcome back, everybody. This is going to be a fun episode right here. I know a lot of y'all watch the channel because we're always running equipment, and I'm obsessed with equipment. It makes our life possible here on our 50 acres in North Florida. So today we are going to be testing out a brand new piece of equipment that I have. This is from Baumalight, and this is called the MP360 tractor mulcher. So long story short, what this piece of equipment right here is going to do is help us get back some of our lost property. We've lost a lot over the 11 years that we've owned this due to, well, just encroaching tree lines. A part of our property that I've never really shown on the channel is what's behind us here. A lot of people think our property stops at this tree line, and no, it goes back probably another 50 to 60 yards, and we have future plans for this area. But it has grown up so thick over the last few years with trees and stuff everywhere that there's really no way for me to get in there and clear it out unless I do it by hand or with a piece of equipment like this. We also have other areas on our property we want to clear out. Plus, I'm going to start doing a little traveling this year, helping friends and going and clearing out other pieces of property. So it was time to get something really heavy duty that'll do far more than my rotary cutter. All right, so let's go over this thing real quick, and then we're going to put it to use. I have not ran this at all. I was waiting to do that when you're watching with me. So as you can see, this is a massive piece of equipment. I have several friends that own some Baumalight equipment. By the way, they make these for skid steers, excavators, as well as tractors. And every person that I know that has some of their equipment, they always talk about how well built it is. I even had one friend said, this is what I refer to as lifetime equipment. And if you look at how well made this is, from all the welds to the thickness and quality of steel, how heavily reinforced everything is, it is just a beast. Such a well-made piece of equipment. Like, I love seeing all these gussets and reinforcements. But let's take a look at the rotor end, because this may be something y'all have never seen unless you've seen it on another channel before. So we have a massive rotating drum right here that has all these cupped cutter teeth, and they are replaceable, as you can see right here. You know, it's just a matter of time before you hit something and have some damage. But these cupped teeth right here actually have a relatively sharp edge on them, and they will cut and dig out of brush, trees, anything else that we back into. And the cool thing is, I've seen some people run these. Once you say cut a tree and some brush down, you do that while going in reverse, and when you go forward, it should mulch all that up for you. This is so heavy duty built, so much more than my rotary cutter. This is just gonna be able to handle a lot more material and a lot bigger material than anything I've ever owned. I mean, just take a look at this gearbox, for example. Massive, heavy duty gearbox. It also came with a slip clutch. That's really important in case we get this thing in a big bind. You can see that it is quick hitch compatible with a bunch of adjustment holes there. We've got chains up front because it spins this direction. It will be throwing some material toward the bottom side of the tractor. That'll help knock it down to the ground. Big skid shoes here so we can just kind of set it to the ground and go forward or reverse. See this big tooth bar right here? This is designed to push into a tree. So we're going to go into some good sized trees today. This helps start pushing the tree over, so whenever you cut it off, it's already falling this direction instead of potentially going back toward the tractor. So that's a tree pusher. You've got a big heavy duty belt drive over here, and I love that they even include a free belt. Cattle's going to need somewhere to go for some shade. That's where all this is going to come in back here, and the reason I need to get all of this cleaned up. So there's an old cow fence right here, but our property goes back another 50 to 60 yards through these trees, and it is as thick as you can see right here. See, I'll take a look at this. It's just an absolute jungle. I've been mowing up to here, and then once you get here, you can't see more than 5 feet. We've got, 2 to 3 inch trees like this, stuff this size, just trees everywhere. We want shade, but we want to get all of this junk right here gone so we can put our back fence in and run our pasture fence to it later, and now we have this entire area. All right, let's fire it up and test it. I have been waiting and waiting on this. I'm excited. All right, we're gonna start down here on the smaller stuff and start working toward the big stuff, and I'm gonna do my best to talk to you while I'm in the tractor with this microphone that I have. I'm running a hydrostat tractor, which is going to allow me to just feather the speed. I think that's going to be key on making this work the best that it can. All right, let's fire this thing up, start mowing some of these oaks. I don't even think I'm going to have to go to full RPM on this. Let's see. absolutely no problem. So dropping it down and running it forward is definitely mulching everything up. I gotta be careful. I'm seeing a bunch of tires and stuff back here. No telling what I'll find clearing all this out. All right, first impressions. I didn't even have the tractor revved all the way up, and it just ate through every tree out here, no problem. So y'all look at the difference. Isn't that amazing? We just went from oaks like this and brush like that to that. Oh, that's a heck of a difference. I am left with some shredded stumps. Those are gonna rot off. I can even come back in here with my rotary cutter later and knock those down. Or I could drop this down even more and mulch that up. I'm still learning it. Just not sure how much in the dirt I want to put it just yet. Well, we just went from couldn't even walk in here to manicured ground almost. Now all I gotta do is come in here and keep this mowed down with the rotary mower, and we're gaining new ground like that. So here's some of the hazards I'm gonna find. First of all, there's a fence right there. So I can't get wrapped up in that. And there's semi-tires and stuff all in here. Semi-tires all over here. This is all from the previous owner, so we got some cleanup to do as well. But as you can see, I'm about to gain from the fence all the way out to here in property. And then what we'll probably do is come in this fall, once the heat dies down and bugs and snakes and everything, we'll tear this entire fence out, and then we're going to continue to just keep working back that way. So we're going to have a lot of extra room for the cows and a lot of shade for them in here. This is awesome. That's a big tree. So one thing to note when operating this, and I think it goes without saying, but let's go ahead and put it out there. Because we're in a tractor, we're having to operate this from the rear. You're gonna have to spin around in your seat. Hopefully you got the room to do it. I can, and my foot can still touch the pedals even with me spun all the way around in the seat. So that makes this relatively comfortable. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, if you run this all day long, you're keeping your neck back in this direction right here. But in the time it took to get off, move the camera, get out, move a few sticks, straighten my neck up, I actually feel fine after running it for this amount of time. But that's worth noting. You're gonna wanna make for sure that you can comfortably operate in reverse with this. And that, my friends, is what a mulcher is designed to do. Wow. Y'all, y'all remember the before? All this is literally a few minutes, just a few minutes of my time clearing from here all the way back down there. And y'all, I was clearing some stuff that was massive. We'll try to find some of the stumps here. Look at this. This is amazing. I wasn't really sure what to expect with a tractor mulcher. I knew it wasn't going to be in the same category as, say, a skid steer mulcher. Those are just on a whole nother level, but I mean, I'm getting similar results. We're just going at it slower than a skid steer would, at a fraction of the cost too. So I need to come back in here with a grapple and get like these big laid down limbs out so I can grind some of these stumps like this down. But you can look at the size of some of that stuff we cut off. We got to get the tires out, but it literally took me a few minutes to clear out what was a jungle that we're standing in here. And now I can just easily walk around through this stuff. It's just mulched and shredded all up. So look at the size, it's shredded. Look at the size of that stump. That was a tree I took down, an oak that's 4 inches across probably. Just shredded it down to nothing. And that's not even gonna poke a tractor tire. I like the way it's leaving the stuff shredded. It's not super rigid. So this is a huge old mound of just stumps and stuff. I cut up a big tree here a long time ago and I let it all rot. I need to come in here and probably put all this in the dump trailer, haul it off somewhere and dump it in a pit. And then we can finish mulching. But ultimately what we got to do is come back and get this whole fence out. And then we can just keep working all the way back into the woods. Y'all, I mean, I thought I was gonna be spending a while with this, clearing some of this stuff out. If I can get this fence out, we'll probably save that for this fall because it is snaky, super hot, and I've got other clearing I need to go do anyways. But if we can spend a day getting the fence out, I mean, I could probably spend one day clearing out this entire probably acre back here with this because it is that fast. This just blows my mind. This whole area right here was just full of trees like this. They're gone. Just a few little remaining pieces. I mean, it mulched everything up to nothing. Just little slivers of bark that's gonna rot right away. This is wild, y'all. Well, let's check out the teeth. I mean, we don't really have rock or nothing in Florida. I didn't back in to get any fence post or wire, so we should be good. You've seen occasionally we have horrible vines everywhere. I wrapped up some vines and I was cutting 3 and 4 and 5 trees at once because this was so thick. And occasionally I'd wrap some up, the slip clutch would engage or the tractor tone would go down. All I would do is lift it up, allow it to spin and sling the stuff out, shred it, and then you're back to full RPMs and just keep going. So occasionally you got to do that. But man, I was burying this in some thick stuff and I wasn't really taking it easy, to be perfectly honest with you, because I knew I had the horsepower. I mean, teeth have still got a sharp edge on them, even though I've been burying it in dirt. Cut all those hardwoods. We'll keep an eye on these throughout time, but they look super easy to replace should anything happen. But look how heavy duty this stuff is. These shackles, I guess they're called, or teeth holders, are crazy thick. What's that, 1/2 inch steel that's welded to the rotor here? I mean, I just don't foresee me breaking none of this stuff. It looks so overbuilt. And you definitely got to pair it with a massive gearbox like that. Which what's really going to save me is the slip clutch. That's a must on a piece of equipment like this. Well, this has me excited. We can do some major land clearing now, and we can do it so quick. I mean, a 75-yard swath all the way down to here was cleared in literally a few minutes. I guarantee you, if I'd have been out here by hand, I'd have had a heat stroke, and it would take me hours to come in this mess, cutting it off with chainsaws and weed eaters and trying to drag it all out. hours in this crazy 90-something degree heat, and what took probably 10 to 15 minutes with that right there. Is this for everybody? No, probably not. But if you have an overgrown property full of brush this size and smaller and enough horsepower to turn it, don't forget they got other models, yeah, you can do a crazy amount of clearing on your own without having to call the professional in. We've got a lot more clearing planned, and like I said, we're gonna do a little traveling and helping some people out and go clear some other properties here. So throughout the rest of this summer, and especially into fall, we're gonna be putting this thing to some good use right here. Go check out Baumalight. They make awesome equipment. We appreciate it so much. We feel so blessed to have companies like this and people like you watching our content. It truly allows us to live this lifestyle that we love so much. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.